Okay guys, so this is the dollhouse that I bought that I've been talking about. I'm really excited to get this going. This is something that I've wanted to do for a long time since I found out I was having a girl. I'm going to show y'all what I've bought, how much I've spent in the first steps. So right now what I'm doing is I organized it all. I'm going to show you guys all the little parts, to show y'all what I've done, what I've bought, and kind of go through the process so far. I have been thinking that this was going to be a fairly cheap project, but here we are, like $250 later. So the first thing I did was I organized. I went through, I took painter's tape, which is one thing I had to buy, painter's tape. I took the painter's tape and I went through and I put one roof extension. And how I got that from was I went through and I did go through all of this page, which labels all the parts and it gives you the measurements. That's one thing you do need is a ruler to be able to tell what measurements. I have also bought paint. So this is the best paint that I have found for it. I had been using Winsor & Newton, which is this one, artist quality paint. Not been worth it for this. This has gone a lot better. In the instructions, they say that you should go with latex paint. I decided acrylic. I think it lasts longer, it's easier to use, and I had more of it on hand because I've just been doing a white base coat. This is Grandmother Stover's. It is a way that you can put on wallpapering. Then the wallpaper that I purchased, I also got it from Hobby Lobby. I know, bad. Is cardstock. So I just bought this cardstock. My daughter's favorite color is pink. So the other thing that I had to buy that was $15 is Ultimate Polyurethane Water-Based Finisher. Yeah, crystal clear gloss interior. And I've done, I think, 2 or 3 coats on these. So this is the, and I will say, this is a cautionary tale. Do not put tape on these until you finish them. It even says it in the directions, but I hadn't read that far. So I finished it. I put one layer on. I kind of roughed it up. And then I put another layer and then one more layer on top of that just to be sure. And just to fix any imperfections. It'll have labeled on the back what this is. I am going to paint all of these white so that the ceilings look white when I do it. I'm going to do like a time lapse of me painting all this stuff. I need to organize all the small parts, did that. I need to paint the base. I'm like halfway through. The floors, I'm done. Then I need to sand. So go through and sand each individual groove. This is the outside of it, which is being a pain. But you do need to paint it first so that you don't sand off a lot of the wood. So the only other things that I've bought have been sanding blocks. I bought 2 different styles of that, the polyurethane. I have bought a lot of rollers and stuff, but I have these. I had a big multi-pack of these. I found that they are leaving black little specks all throughout everything I'm painting. So I then went and bought these were $5. In terms of accessories, I did buy these. So I don't know if you can see it, but it's like a little door, like a little doorknob. So cute. And I bought baseboards because that's one. Okay, so what I'm doing right now is I'm assembling the foundation and I'm going to show you.
Okay, guys, so this is the most important part, which is the foundation. So with this, you got to measure and make sure everything is the perfect length away. As you'll see later on, I mess this up at first, but what they give you are these 3 little blocks, which are really helpful. See right there, I messed up. I'm like, why is this not lining up? Little did I know it was all my fault, and all I had to do was move it. But these little blocks that they give you can see them off to the side near where my wood glue is. Those are so helpful. And, well, they help strengthen it, and they're also helpful in lining everything up. You see how it's easier to make a sharp corner with that? So now I'm actually gluing everything down, which is very nerve-wracking for me. It's not something that I was, like, really excited to do because it is kind of feels very final. But, you know, you always have room, and I like using the wood glue because it doesn't, glue down as quickly as tacky glue does. I feel like I can move it easier and it's easier to wipe off. So you'll see I'm going through and making sure all the joints are covered with wood. They always say in all of the directions that to be very liberal with the wood, to be very liberal with the glue, that it's better to have more glue than less glue. And that's one of the reasons why I'm not putting the wallpaper in. You can see everything kind of starts to go to hell in a handbasket pretty quickly. And then by the end, I've figured it out. So this is one thing that I found very helpful was that I just started gluing everything from this point on, standing up. It does bite me in the ass in a minute, but for this first stage, it was so helpful in just making sure that everything I was doing was straight and that I could get all of these joints really well glued. As you can see, I'm taking a cotton swab and I'm just making sure that all the glue is around the entire perimeter, everywhere the wood meets. So now I've stood it back up and I'm doing it more, and I'm just making sure, this is where it gets very kind of hazy, because I'm just making sure that it's getting all the wood everywhere and that everything is at a 90-degree angle. And I know that this foundation is going to be one of the most important parts, so I really don't want to mess it up. And the outside is the only part that I'm worrying about, kind of keeping it looking more neat. The inside I'm not too worried about, but I know the outside will be showing somewhat in the final project. So I'm just making sure that everything is looking really clean, really organized, really cute, really cutesy, really demure on the outside, while the inside can kind of be a little bit messier. But even with the mess, I'm still taking my Q-tips. I'm still making sure that there's wood seeping out from all of those corners. So as you can see, I'm just wiping. Yeah, I'm just really excited. I think I know what colors I'm going to choose for this, but I'm not 100% sure. I would love to hear what you all think I should do. Here I am measuring the 6 inches and whatever, 6 3/16 or whatever it is. I couldn't find my metal ruler, so I'm just using a tape ruler, which is fine for this because I knew I would have the hard background of the granite. I did lie down some parchment paper, which I thought was excessive, and I was like, I may not even need this, but no, I definitely did, to keep my granite nice and neat because of the, everywhere in this thing. I mean, I've probably read it 3 or 4 times that you need to have a really liberal amount of glue for all of this. So I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to have to scrape any of it off. Oopsie, look, that's where I was getting a little too ambitious with it. But in the end, it really glued down super well. I think the technique I started using of putting it on the ground and just flew a little too close to the sun on that. But it's easy to pick back up and put back in, especially with those little blocks. I can't thank those blocks enough. Making sure everything's all clean. There I am like, oh God, come on, Liz. I remember even filming this, I was like, I've gone completely silent, and I had just stopped talking because I was getting very nervous that this wasn't going to do right and that I was going to have to halt the project and go on the website and order a new foundation, which I knew would take forever. So not to leave y'all off wanting more, but I'm going to go ahead and finish the foundation, or just let it continue drying. I'm going to paint everything, and then I'll be back to see you guys with the next steps. I do want to know what you all think, what colors you all think I should do. My child is very much a girl's girl, like a very girly girl. So I'm wondering what colors everyone thinks I should do. So if you know of any, let me know. And if not, I'll see you all in the next one.